Cunningham, handoff Johnson, into a triple team, out to Clark, 3 more!
Carolina.
Clark, fire away, and hits a three!
Instead of giving a clear answer about Caitlin Clark's condition, Stephanie White looked like somebody trying very carefully not to reveal too much. The question was simple. Everybody watching wanted to know the same thing. Was Clark actually healthy, or was Indiana preparing to push their superstar through pain? Because this matchup mattered more than they wanted to admit publicly. And the hesitation from the Fever head coach only added fuel to the conversation surrounding the biggest star in the WNBA. You could feel the uncertainty in the room. White kept leaning on cautious language, mentioning evaluations, medical staff, and monitoring the situation without ever fully committing to what fans actually wanted to hear. That kind of answer usually tells you more than the words themselves. Coaches get direct when players are fully healthy. This felt different. It felt guarded. And that tension made what happened next even bigger.
Is she injured? I guess is a fair question. Is she injured? Or is it something other than an injury? Is she injured? I guess is a fair question. Is she injured? Or is it something other than an injury?
Her back is sore.
Then Caitlin Clark stepped onto the floor and immediately changed the entire energy inside the arena. Suddenly, the conversations about injuries disappeared because Golden State was dealing with something far more dangerous. An aggressive, emotional, fully engaged Caitlin Clark played with the kind of edge that can completely flip a WNBA game in minutes. The Fever didn't just survive her return. They exploded behind it. And honestly, this was the kind of performance that reminds people why the Caitlin Clark hype never slowed down in the first place. Every possession felt important. Every shot felt like it could break the momentum open. The crowd was waiting for one signature moment. And once Clark saw a couple shots fall, the building completely transformed.
See Hull doing it all on that defensive possession. Clark. Oh! From another stratosphere.
With her left hand.
Clark just spins away from Hayes, fades, fires, and hits.
What a tough two.
The third quarter was where the game stopped being competitive and started feeling personal. Clark came out of halftime playing with a level of force that Golden State simply could not handle. She was pushing the pace before defenders could even get organized, attacking gaps instantly, firing transition threes without hesitation, and creating total chaos for the Valkyries' defensive rotations. Indiana suddenly looked faster, sharper, louder, and far more confident because their superstar had fully taken control of the emotional rhythm of the game. And what made the sequence even more impressive was how she handled the controversy. The technical foul could have derailed the momentum. The flagrant foul could have distracted her. In most games, emotional moments like that pull players out of rhythm. With Clark, it had the opposite effect. She became even more dangerous afterward. That competitive fire is part of what makes her such a difficult matchup for the rest of the WNBA. She doesn't shrink when the game gets emotional. She escalates.
What is your reaction to getting a warning from the league as a team for the injury report involving Caitlin? Medical questions, we can defer that to the medical team. We, to my knowledge, don't have access to talk to them.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't disclose anything that's not already disclosed by our medical team, by our...
That's also why Aaliyah Boston had so much room to dominate inside. Golden State became so focused on containing Clark above the arc that Boston started getting cleaner touches near the basket and easier rebounding opportunities. The Clark-Boston connection is starting to look like one of the most dangerous combinations in women's basketball because defenses are constantly forced into impossible choices. Step up too high on Clark and Boston punishes you inside. Collapse into the paint and Clark starts launching from deep. By the fourth quarter, Indiana looked completely in control, not because Golden State stopped competing, but because the Fever finally looked like a team that understands exactly who they are becoming. Caitlin Clark running the offense at full speed changes everything about Indiana's identity. The spacing improves. The confidence improves. The transition game becomes lethal. And suddenly even small defensive mistakes turn into momentum swings that bury opponents fast.
Happened there as Clark bounces inside for Boston.
Good patience.
Clark, oh, beautiful find inside for Cunningham. And
this performance also carried major league-wide implications. Early in the season, defenses were daring Clark to shoot through the slump. Teams were sagging off, loading the paint, and betting that her three-point shooting would stay inconsistent. That strategy is starting to collapse in real time. When Caitlin Clark is knocking down threes efficiently while also creating nearly double-digit assists, the entire structure of opposing defensive schemes changes instantly. And now the timing becomes even more interesting because the New York Liberty are next. That matchup suddenly feels massive for the WNBA. The Liberty represent the league's most complete defensive challenge. And after a statement performance like this, all eyes are going to be on whether Clark can carry this momentum into a true heavyweight showdown. If she does, the conversations around the Fever shift from exciting young team to legitimate contender very quickly. That is why this game mattered beyond just one regular season win. It wasn't only about 22 points or 4 threes. It was about the message attached to performance. Caitlin Clark looked healthy, confident, aggressive, emotional, and fully back at the center of the WNBA spotlight. And if this version of Clark is really returning at the same time Indiana is finding rhythm as a team, the rest of the league has a serious problem developing in front of them.
Starting a game out relatively fast, and then in the second quarter, we give up a lead. Caitlin Clark and the Fever showed out in the third quarter with a 29-17 showing. The big three showed up. Aaliyah Boston, 20 points on 8 of 15, 16 boards, 3 blocks. They have been the night that Caitlin Clark put the league on notice. But the Fever got the win, and Caitlin Clark, once again, pretty much put this team on her back and rode it to victory.